Anime is a large portion of my life. It has always been there for me through a lot of my toughest moments in life. This video is going to be a bit more personal than normal. I wanted to talk about what anime means to me and how it has changed my life. When I was younger, I would often get sick, and I mean to the point where it was hard to move. I call it sick, but mostly it was a back and forth battle with the bathroom. So video games for the most part were out. I played video games and loved them, but on those days it wasn't happening. So I would just sit there all day watching TV, and my favorite stuff was always what I now know to be anime. Naruto, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, shows like that. Those were always the most hype and awesome stuff to watch back then. As I grew older, I learned that it was anime, and I watched all of those shows that I'd only seen a few random episodes of, and I watched them all the way through. Except for Pokemon, that was something I always watched every week. Anime has been there through a lot of my toughest moments. There are certain anime series that I hold in very high regard regardless of how bad they may be for this very reason. One of those anime is Fairy Tail. I first discovered Fairy Tail at the end of 2015 going into 2016. I consider 2016 to be one of the worst years of my life, with only a couple of good things happening that year, the main one being my discovery of Fairy Tail. The biggest criticism of the show is the biggest reason why I fell in love with this anime, the power of friendship. 2016 is the year that I felt the most isolated from everything and everyone. I was always sick, and I had to take a year off of school going into 2017 to recover from surgeries. While I felt isolated, I found solace in the Fairy Tail Guild. They helped me and showed me the true power of friendship, as cliche as that sounds when talking about Fairy Tail. Especially even more so since I don't have any friends or know really how to make them as an adult. I've said this in an older video once, but the Fairy Tail Guild feels like one giant family, and this series does a really great job at dragging you along and making you feel like you are a part of that family. If it wasn't for this fact, I don't know what would happen. I hold this very vivid memory of this night in 2016 where I was making a video for my old channel, but I decided to take a break. I was on my third or fourth rewatch of Fairy Tail, so I decided to throw it on. I even remember the exact episode I was on. It was the episode where Lucy tries to visit her father after the time skip only to discover that he is dead. It's a great episode and one that I think I needed to watch that night because after that episode, all of a sudden, this sharp pain hits me in my stomach and I felt like I was going to die. Turns out, I was going to die. But this memory sticks with me. Fairy Tail as an anime has literally been there for me in my absolute lowest moments. Shout out to my mom as well on this one. If it wasn't for her, I literally would not be here right now. Fairy Tail isn't the only anime that has a deep meaning to me, however. There are a few others that I would say hold a very deep meaning to me for a lot of reasons. Clannad is an anime that, funnily enough, I discovered only 1 year later in 2017. This anime was something that I needed to watch when I did. I discovered the character of Nagisa Furukawa. She is one of the first characters I have ever encountered where I genuinely related to a little bit. I'm not as nice or naive as she can be, but there was one thing about her character that stood out to me, which was her sickness. This wasn't the first time I had watched an anime with a sick character in it, or even a sick main character in it. But it was just the way that this anime dealt with the topic and how the thoughts and emotions of everyone felt. It hit me on a very deep level and really made me start to understand more about myself and made me want to try and be better. This anime is one that deeply affects me even to this day. I can barely sit through the show without emotions flowing, and that is obviously normal as that is the point of the series, but for me, it is different. There is more to it than just feeling the emotions that they want to convey. There is a level of relatability to it that I just still haven't seen from any anime before. It also helps with the fact that I found this anime on the 1 year anniversary, as I like to call it, of the story I told you about previously with Fairy Tail about me nearly dying. This anime was just a perfect storm of everything, and it reminds me of why I love anime and why I love life. There's one other anime that I want to talk about briefly, and that is Naruto. Naruto as an anime is the first real anime I ever watched. It was the show that I watched with my older brother sometimes. Naruto is a show that I hold very near and dear to my heart. I grew up with this anime, and I will continue to consume its media into the future because it is my childhood and I want to see the world and characters for as long as I possibly can. There is one final thing that anime has done for me that I really appreciate and is something I will try not to take for granted ever, and that is this YouTube channel. Sure, this channel isn't the biggest, but I love the little community we built here where we get to talk about the anime that we love. I may not always respond to comments, but I do always read them. I love hearing the opinions of others and seeing things from a different perspective as long as you are nice about it. The whole reason I started this channel in the first place is because I wanted to talk about anime with people when I had nobody around who liked anime that much. Of course, in 2024, it is hard to find someone who doesn't at least watch a little bit of anime, but that was not the case 4 or 5 years ago. I feel like with most people my age, I lost a lot of time during COVID and it is something I'm still fighting to try to get back. But this channel is a safe place for me to be and make the stuff that I love, and I want this channel to be that way for everyone who comes to check it out. Sorry for getting really personal in this video. I wanted to recreate the first video on my channel now that I know more about making good videos, and I thought this could be a fun project. I ended up getting way more personal than I originally thought I would, but I still hope you enjoyed this video. And maybe you took some things from this video, or maybe you relate to my story a little bit. All of us here love anime for different reasons, and it means something different for everyone, but one thing we can all say is that we all love anime. Okay, so that was the video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I hope you drop a like. It helps out so much, and maybe think about subscribing as well. The community here is small, but I would like for you to join. And if you do decide to join, then I will see you next week with another video. Bye!